Hey everybody, episode 6. As you can see, Bluey's not with me. He went to town and he's getting rewired, a full rewire with the auto elec. And in the meantime, I've done a couple of bits and pieces that I can add to Blue when he comes back. And I'd just like to show you what they are. So I'll just turn myself around, take you over the table. One of the things that people, or that I've struggled with, was getting replacement windscreen wiper blades. Now, in the previous episodes I explained to you that I've got a donor car. It's a 1973 model G60. A donor car as in I bought a second vehicle to use for parts. And the difference between the two models is the 66, well, we'll start with this. This is the 73 model. It has like a bolt, so the threaded pin from the wiper motor comes through here, and there's like a bolt arrangement outside here that holds this assembly against the motor, right? So from there to there is identical, other than the fact that in the 73 this arm has a kink in it. You can see it's got a change in direction there, right? But it slips into this fitting here, and that fitting, which holds your wiper blade arm, is exactly the same, almost, very close. So you can see there's a dot there. If you turn the assembly over, you can see this is actually, yeah. So this is the 73 one. So you can see where I've manipulated that with a screwdriver to pull those sides apart or lift them with a small screwdriver, so that little dot, which is actually a pin, has some clearance, and it's a bit hard with one hand, but this assembly then comes off this shaft, right? So basically I took that assembly off this 73 kinked shaft and I put it on my 66 shaft. As you can see now, I've sprayed up the heads. They look really nice. Like I said, the 66 doesn't have a bolt pattern arrangement on the top of it, and it has a screw assembly that grabs or binds onto the spindle inside it, right? And then that flicks back when you push the windscreen wiper back against the dash. So, like I said, the 66, the shaft is perfectly straight, but the little dot and the assembly inside of it is exactly the same, almost. It has 2 little lugs, or 4 little lugs. You get a small screwdriver and lift up those 2 little lugs there that are directly over the dot. Not a lot, just a little bit, just so there's enough clearance to pull that out, that shaft out, and swap them over. So from there, my next issue was the rubbers. The rubbers were shocking. These are the new ones. Look at that, very nice. So you have to, that's just a flap on the end. So again, very gently bend that flap back, not a long way. Try not to stress out the metal on the elbow there where it would bend. Right? Move that out and go and get yourself a new rubber. Now, these rubbers I got from Super Cheap Auto in Australia. It's SCA, stands for Super Cheap Auto. The SRN, the 6 means 6 millimeters, and I think it cost me $14 or something for a pair of 24 inch, so they're 610 mil long, pair of them, and one length did both blades. So I've got a spare in that packet there for some other time. Now, the way this comes, it's got a little, I won't go into too much detail, but it's got a little plastic section that hangs on to the rubber, go back over here, that hangs on to the rubber, and I removed it, so I just used the rubber and slipped the rubber back on. You'll see what I mean if you want to go through the process. So there we go. So I've got a new set of windscreen wiper blades that I've been looking for a long time, and I've been able to make them myself. So I hope if any of you are frustrated by the same issue that I've had there, that you'll find another way. Now, I also mentioned in a previous issue that I bought the Columbia rubbers for the doors, right? Now, I think it was Jason, as one of my subscribers, did the same thing and sent me an email or a message he wanted to know which edge to put the adhesive on. So this is the Colombian one. I'll put it over here so you can maybe see it a little better. So this is the door jamb, if you like. So you put the bulbous bit, the bulbous section there, the nipple shaped bit, you put that so it points into the door opening so that it'll touch the door when it's shut. So the little rebate that this sits in is here, right? And it doesn't cover the whole width of this section here, most of it, right? And here is where the metal on the rebate returns from that point this direction about 5 millimeters. You'll see the little 5 millimeter bend in the rebate, right, that faces towards you when you're standing in front of the door. So that's what I used, and I did white glue there, or the sealant there and there. It's like if you look at the previous episode, you'll see what product I used, and I literally applied it with my finger after some preparation. Now this is what was on the vehicle, and I hunted forever, but you can see it's got I tried to match this. Now you can see it's got the same sort of nipple arrangement, so this would be the rebate. The difference is that this has this little rubber extrusion there that went over the 5 millimeter little section of metal that points at you when you're facing the door, right? So you don't see any of the metal, whereas the one I used, it hasn't got that flap, okay? But and you can see it's hollow. It's got these. It's more of an extruded type thing. But anyway, that's the old one. But they're very close. They're very similar shapes. And if you can get the one, I would have liked to have got this one. I think that's a better version. But anyway, the Colombian one works really well. Happy with that. Apart from that, I was talking to you about the drop sides and the timber deck on the ute, and how I'd seen a tie-down method on another YouTuber's channel where he had these channels, and I thought I'd give it a crack. So I've gone and got myself some 35 by 35 3mm thick galvanised square hollow section, and I asked them to drill 20mm holes, 2 rails obviously, 20mm holes equidistant down the length of it for me, and I've sprayed them up with, again, this is the super cheap auto paint that I use, and tell you what, it's pretty good. This is epoxy enamel, matte black, comes up pretty good. That's 2 coats, probably only needed 1. So the intention of this is that it gets bottled up against the tray sides, and instead of having ropes coming over your drop sides on your truck, they pull from the floor up. So these are bolted to the floor of the tray, and you'll see later when I put them on. And then you can put the hook of your tie downs there rather than over your tray and down the side, and then pulling on your sides. This pulls from the tray up, so you go like that, and you know, I think you can work out the rest of it. So that's it. That's about it. I haven't got anything else to show you. I'm missing old Bluey, and I can't wait to get him back. I've got a novelty plate which I'll probably screw in the back of the tray somewhere so that, again, people can see what it is. They're on the internet. A previous vehicle, I had a personalised number plate which was costing me $400 a year on top of my registration, and I tried to get that. I wanted just simply Ute 66, but due to its reference of the American reference, it's just not available. It's gone. So I thought, what can I do? So I researched. Anyway, did a internet search, and there's this company called Novelty Plates. Look them up. You can have any wording you want. You tell them what you want. That costs $50, $49, I think, delivered. It's exactly the same as a Australian aluminium number plate. I've got a few more over here. It's the same as these sort of things when you travel. You can buy the novelty number plates, right? And there's another one that I bought. Now that one was the first one I'd ordered, thinking that I said green back and gold writing, thinking I was going to get the green and wattle coloured yellow, so I sort of buggered that up, and I got what I got was gold. Not 100% sure, but it doesn't look too bad either, actually. And, but you can see that's just a single line wording. The one over there is double line wording, and just thought that might be interesting to some people. You might want to do that to your project. Anyway, that's all I got. I hope you're having fun with your G60. All the best. Bye.